Smash and grab at the Chanel store at Fashion Valley Mall. We'll hear from someone who saw the whole thing.
Get ready to pay more for water. In the next few weeks, San Diego water rates will go up. The county wants you to keep runoff in check.
And see what happens when veterans are allowed to drum it out with sounds of service.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts now.
San Diego's Fashion Valley Mall is the latest spot to get hit by smash and grab shoplifters more than once now. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan. Carlo is off tonight.
I'm Marcella Lee. Twice in the past 2 weeks, thieves targeted a luxury store in Fashion Valley and took off with thousands of dollars in high-end handbags. CBS 8's Anna Laurel joins us live tonight. Anna, you spoke with a woman who saw one of those mob-style smash and grabs.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Marcella. I'm actually right above Fashion Valley Mall. This is where our perch is tonight. And those smash and grabs happened at the Chanel boutique inside the Nordstrom. And that woman I spoke with who saw one of those says the thing that surprised her most is that the police, she never saw them come out after it happened.
You've seen the videos online. Mob-style smash and grabs happening around the country. Groups of thieves storm into a store, overwhelm employees, grab merchandise, and take off.
It was very surreal because, you know, you see it on the internet, you see it happening, you know, in other cities, and you think, oh my gosh, this is actually happening right here in front of me.
Cindy Henrique was at the Nordstrom Cafe at Fashion Valley Mall earlier this month when she saw 5 people walk into this Chanel boutique inside Nordstrom.
All were wearing the black face mask. I noticed they had blue gloves on. They had hoodies on with the hoodie up.
She says her brother called 911. She and her sister didn't know what to do.
You don't know if they're going to come out, people chasing them, they have weapons or whatever. It was just a couple minutes later, they all came running out. One of them actually dropped a purse, but they all had their hands full of purses, and then they went running towards a getaway car.
A quick check on Chanel's website shows handbags list for $5,000 to $10,000 and more each. Cindy says she and her sister hung around for a few hours after it happened and never saw the police come.
I was really confused as far as, you know, when do they actually get here? Because I kept thinking about witnesses, people that were standing around, you know, maybe with the videos or descriptions.
I reached out to the San Diego police today. They tell me there were 2 smash and grabs at this same Chanel store. The first on November 3rd with 5 suspects. The second on November 8th. This time, 15 to 20 masked people stole from the store.
Where is the police presence?
I went to Fashion Valley today and saw a San Diego police car outside Nordstrom, several security officers walking around, and one right outside Chanel. Cindy hopes that helps so other shoppers don't have to feel like she does.
Just feeling unsafe now, you know, just feeling that sense of anger that it's happening and they're getting away with it, and just feeling sad that, you know, this is what it's come to.
Now, I did ask the police lieutenant about that response time after that smash and grab happened that Cindy witnessed. He told me he will get me that dispatch record and information tomorrow. Live out here above Fashion Valley Mall, I'm Anna Laurel for CBS 8. Guys.
Anna, as far as Chanel goes, have you talked with anybody there from that boutique?
Yeah, Jesse, you know, I went inside today and I spoke with an employee who was there working on one of the days that smash and grab happened. She said it was fast and furious, that all the merchandise is anchored in with these thick security ropes. They just yank them right off the shelves and take off. She says it is very scary.
Quite the situation there, especially right in Fashion Valley Mall. Anna Laurel live for us tonight. Anna, thank you. Meantime, right now, investigators are looking into what led to a fatal crash in Otay, Mesa West. A driver smashed into a Cricket Wireless store early this morning. That driver is now dead. The crash happened at the corner of Coronado Avenue and 30th Street just after 4 this morning. Police found the car lodged into the back of the concrete building. The Cricket store is now closed until they can fix the wall.
Tonight, the San Diego City Council is just moments away from voting on the mayor's new housing action plan. It's an effort to tackle the city's housing crisis. CBS 8's Brian White explains what's supposed to happen if this plan is approved.
The City Council is still discussing the details of the plan, which includes a series of housing reforms, including more flexibility for public agencies to develop homes on publicly owned property, and for homes to be built on underutilized commercial sites, allowing underused strip malls and parking lots to be transformed into housing. It also relaxes parking requirements for builders, particularly those building near public transit stops, and encourages the creation of more single-room occupancy homes. And the mayor's office says it will also make it easier to build housing for students and projects within 1 mile of a university.
There's students and youth who are living in walk-in closets in order to afford to live here in San Diego. They're living on the streets, they're couch surfing. Fair to the youth here. We believe that allowing for off-campus student housing to be developed will not only allow for college students to currently afford their housing while in college, but also it'll free up more housing supply outside in the remainder of the cities.
Now, one thing reiterated over and over during public comment was a concern over one point in particular, giving developers the option to move required affordable units off-site from a project and instead to less desirable locations. In other words, they're concerned that communities could be segregated based on income.
This is going back to the days of segregation. In this case, it's segregation by income. Moving the affordable units off-site will remove the amenities from those residents. Any kind of media rooms, gyms, pools, all of the things that the other residents will get, it will be separate and totally unequal.
The council is expected to take a vote momentarily. If approved, it will come back to council for a second reading in the near future and would go into effect 60 days after final approval. I'm Brian White for CBS 8.
Brian. Governor Gavin Newsom says arson is thought to be the cause of a massive fire that shut down part of the 10 freeway in Los Angeles.
Tonight, LA Mayor Karen Bass says the stretch of freeway near downtown could be closed for days. That is impacting an estimated 300,000 drivers, many of whom had to use crowded surface streets during the commute this morning. The massive pallet fire erupted on Saturday, burning columns and the freeway structure.
The original core samples have determined on the basis of the preliminary sampling that the structural integrity of the deck appears to be much stronger than originally assessed.
So that is some encouraging news. Engineers continue to monitor the situation to make sure that structure is sound. Crews spent the day clearing debris from the scene of the fire, since the closure could also impact imports at the ports of LA and Long Beach. President Biden has also been briefed.
An East County truck driver is making national news tonight. CNN is airing his cell phone video of migrants crossing the border on his property near Jacumba. CBS 8's David Goffredson talked with Brian Silvas about what he's seeing along the southern border.
I do not condone this.
Working as a truck driver in Lakeside and living near the border in Jacumba, Brian Silvas says he never expected to make national news.
Where are you from? Honduras?
Until a CNN reporter showed up at his door doing a story on immigration.
CNN came out there and they talked to me and wanted to interview me, so I said, sure, yeah, come on. They stayed on the property and looked at, seen where they're coming through and everything.
Silva's interview and border video are now posted on the CNN website.
This country is about immigration and people coming here. My family immigrated here 14 generations ago.
Silvas is glad his video is bringing awareness to the border situation near Jacumba. The border wall ends on his property, and that's where he says he's seen hundreds of migrants cross through a barbed wire fence since Title 42 expired in May.
It's never been like this. I've been here 51 years. It's never been like this. Never, ever in my life.
He says he's called the Border Patrol, but since it's private property, agents told him they can't do anything about it.
I was told this from the Border Patrol and the sheriff, that we cannot stop them. So if they can't stop them and we can't stop them, then where are we at?
If you want to see more of the interview with Silvas, we've posted a link at CBS8.com. David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
A search is on tonight for San Diego State's next head football coach.
Brady Hoke announced earlier today he's retiring at the end of the season. CBS 8's John Howard is here now with more on a news conference that wrapped up just a short time ago. John?
Yeah, the official word that came out was that he retired, but there was a lot of talk. Was he kind of forced out, sort of fired?
What does he say?
Well, we're going to tell you right now. Coach Hoke is quoted in the press release saying as much, that he retired. The Union Tribune reported he was fired. Whatever the truth is, Hoke will be on the sidelines coaching the Aztecs in their final 2 games this year, and then he'll pack up his office and move on to the next chapter of his life. The announcement comes after State lost 7 of its first 10 games this season. It'll be the first losing year in 14 seasons for the Aztecs. Here's Hoke after the practice today.
Well, it is emotional because you love what you do. You know, I got the greatest job that you could ever have, coaching young men and help develop them, the character and the culture that we want to have. So that's the tough part. You know, you're competitive, so you love the game also. But you know, it's time. You know, I believe me. I've done, I think, 42 years, and so it's time to move forward.
So from what he said this afternoon, it does sound like more of a retirement. He says 43 years. It's time to move on. And he did repeat later that it was time. It's time to move on. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of days, couple of games that they play. But Hoke will be moving on, and the search is on for a new head coach.
It's been a long, wonderful career. Thanks so much for that first sound from Coach Brady Hoke.
Still ahead tonight, why water rates are about to go even higher for City of San Diego customers.
Plus, where this aerial dance troupe put on a brave show today, high above the ground, and the reason they're sending this message.
Lots of sunshine in the forecast over the weekend. We're going to stay dry all the way through tomorrow, but then we got some changes arriving in the form of some wet weather and even some mountain snow in parts of Southern California. Details on when coming up.
And in an Earth 8 report, easy steps you can take to protect water quality and help out the environment in the process.